It's training camp season, and today we're looking at the Cleveland Browns and getting a look at Deshaun Watson. We're going to look at his most recent practices, plus some of the old ones, so you can get a look at all the clips and what he's doing at training camp. But before we do, we need to click that subscribe button right now because we're talking about these players every day. We're looking at what they're doing behind the scenes. We're looking at what they're doing at training camp. We're looking at these rookies, these guys coming back from injury. Some of these guys you're drafting in fantasy football soon, and you want to make a decision on them. Go back, look at their videos, see what they're doing on the field, see whether you like them or not, and make your decision. But click that button right now. Stop missing out. We're looking at Deshaun Watson. I got 7 minutes of clips. So we're going to see a lot of ball on Deshaun Watson. Here we go, getting the ball out. And from what I've seen and looked at when gathering clips, looking good in camp. There is some interceptions highlighted. I'll let you know that, but looking good in camp. The arm's looking good. Getting the ball out. Just got approved for contact not too long ago. Ball's getting out there downfield. There it is. There's one of the picks. That's going to happen. And you get to sharpen up against a tough defense. The Browns have one of the toughest defenses in the league. Something to point out, too. Out in front of Cooper. Cooper's nasty. Cooper's an underrated wide receiver. He's a very underrated wide receiver. Amari Cooper, healthy on the field. The thing is, he's tough and gritty. He'll play through injuries, too. He'll be hurt, and he won't sit out. He'll come in and play. So sometimes you'll see low points in the statistics. If you look through the game logs, you got to know, even with his time with the Cowboys, he'll play through injuries. Like, he'll be nicked up. He'll still be out there. I know a lot of players will, but a lot of players won't as well. There's another pick. Stepping back there. Getting it out. The ball's humming off the hand. I'll definitely say that. He's getting it out quick. He's getting out with velocity. That's what I really meant, but he is getting it out quick, but he's getting out there with velocity. There's Amari Cooper again. Here's a highlight. That was that one play, I believe. But the Browns made a cinematic clip of it. Watson stepping back, heaving it deep. Downfield. That's a pretty ball. He only had that window wasn't too huge for that one. That's downfield out in front of the guy. Got command here. Stepping back. There's Jeudy. Jeudy having a good training camp. And the fact that you got another wide receiver who can create separation is going to really help this passing offense. And you're probably going to have to lean on it a little bit more. You're down Nick Chubb. Jonathan Foreman, we'll see when he comes back. He might be back. I haven't really heard much about him. And then you got Jerome Ford. So really, Jerome Ford did great. I don't want to cast shade on him. Actually, he's really good. But the thing is, Nick Chubb's the man. We're watching him. You paid up on Deshaun Watson. You got Deshaun Watson. You added another wide receiver. You have 3 very good wide receivers now. Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper, and Jeudy. You have the trio there. You better lean a little bit more in the passing game. That is what I'm saying. You got the assets there. Deshaun Watson getting the ball out. And then on top of that, if Watson gets hurt again, you got Jameis Winston behind him. Some people like Jameis Winston more. And then I'll catch some people that don't like him. The thing about Jameis Winston, the dude's cool, calm, collected. He's very confident. He'll push the ball downfield. He'll keep this offense aggressive. He's also a great fit for this offense because you got some good pass catchers. David Njoku, one of the better tight ends in the league. You have 3 very good wide receivers. Jerome Ford's no slouch. He's a solid running back. He kept up. He kept the pace in the run game after Chubb went out. There's some pieces here, and they're ready to rock and roll if something does happen to Watson. They're ready. But Deshaun Watson back here is having a good offseason. We covered his minicamp and OTAs. We did the same thing, covering all the clips. He looked good then. He was on some restrictions there. Wasn't throwing every practice. We're throwing more. We're throwing more deep balls. We're throwing more rockets. There have been a practice or two, maybe more than that, or maybe just moments in practice where they had him just simulate throwing the ball. And that's really just to give him a rest day while still getting mental reps. There were some moments where they had him do that, which is just smart. Smart to do, get him ready for the season. Let him build up some of that strength from what he tore down in practice. Let him get stronger. Let him recover. He's getting the ball out. He's looking good. He's got some command. Was he 100% perfect in training camp? No. Has he looked good? Yeah, he gets the ball out there. There has been some miscues, but not many, but you should expect it too, because you're ripping about, what, a few hundred balls a day, a bunch of balls a day out there. In drills, you're going to have some off throws. It's just going to happen. Going through a lot of plays, you're going to have some players line up a little off and stuff and cause some things to go off, and then he goes off and all that stuff. It's just, that's football. That's football. But all in all, everything put together has been looking good. He's been looking very good. We just have to materialize this to end season. We have to be very consistent in season. We have to stay healthy. If all that happens and he clicks, and his offense clicks, and these wide receivers stay healthy too, the Browns' offense is going to be good. The Browns as a whole is going to be nasty. And they just got to be a little bit better than last year. And that defense, I don't think people really pay attention to the Browns as they should, considering what all they got on both sides of the ball. Like, I'm not really hearing much about them from big media. I'm just really not. I hear a lot of people, or I don't hear much about them. And the thing about the Browns is they're not super sexy. They're not a super flashy team. And they got some good pieces, though, on just about everywhere. And that's just going to allow them to win some games. They're going to be in the hunt for that. Some games, a lot of games. And as long as they stay healthy, they're going to be good to go. They're going to be good to go. And if Watson has a rough patch or gets injured, you got a good veteran behind him with Jameis Winston. They won with Flacco last year. They did well with Flacco. Winston coming back, looking good in practice. Practice is practice. Things are really different when things get exotic with other defenses in the season. We want to really call that out. We see that with a lot of rookie quarterbacks. They all look good in practice right now. Everybody looks good in practice. Everything's more vanillaed out. We're trying to figure out which players should be our starters with our position battles on defense and stuff. We're really trying to hammer that stuff out. Here we go. When we see a little bit more preseason, once we get into week 1, we'll know more about Deshaun Watson. But looking at Deshaun Watson, he had a good training camp. The Browns' offense looks like it's going to be very impactful. Deshaun Watson's at a good value in fantasy football if you're looking for a cheaper quarterback that could deliver some production, if you're looking for that. Deshaun Watson, though, we have to wait to end season and see if this all materializes, which it should. It should materialize, and the Browns should be good. And if not, they got Jameis Winston waiting in the wings. Some people really like Jameis Winston on his team. I think he's a fabulous get for the Browns. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.